Hello and welcome, everyone. Hopefully you're having a pretty good Monday. I know it's not everyone's favorite day, but we are going to make it a little bit better by writing some code today. So that ought to improve things for most people here. Let me set up a couple of things here, everybody. We should have the bot running. Whoops. Don't want to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and get the bot started. It'll join chat, and then we can all use it. So there's the bot. Hello and welcome. So for anybody that's new, welcome to DevChatter. My name is Brendan, and you'll notice there are a bunch of people in chat saying hi. Those are mostly the people that are contributing to the project right now. So we get a number of people that have sent in pull requests, report issues, and generally get involved in the project. For a quick explanation of what we are building, for anyone that is new here, we are building our C# chatbot. You'll notice this set of libraries that I've got here on the right-hand side inside of our Solution Explorer. These are I guess the programs that make our bot function. It is in chat right now. If you take a look in the lower left-hand corner, you will see the little chat message over there, and we can type things in that are commands that the bot will respond to. And why didn't the bot respond to that command? I'll need to look into that one. Bot should have responded to that command. Either way, we'll dig into it, figure out why it's not responding to our simple commands. We clearly have a bug. We're working on a feature branch right now, so it's not surprising that there's an issue in here, but we're going to go ahead and fix that one, get it working correctly. And for today, I think what we're going to work on is wrapping up a few of the issues that we've got outstanding and generally doing a bit of code cleanup in here. So I've had a number of people hop into our chat and say, you know, wow, that project's organized. And I can tell you the reason why the project's organized and the code looks nice is we take time every once in a while to actually clean it up. Hey, Lumen, welcome. We are programming our bot, so if you want to play any of the bot's games, you are welcome to. I started up a Hangman game for anybody that's interested. You can play that in chat, so you'll notice over there on the left, the bot responds back and lets us play a little bit of a Hangman game. We need a better library, because I already know what that word is from a single letter. Let's see, did we actually send in our schedule command? Arid tag? I'll likely be lurking most, if not all, of the stream today. Oh, they want you to do work at work. That's terrible. Hey, welcome. Anybody that was lurking around in the C# Fritz stream and has just shown up. I don't think he was streaming today, so anybody that's in here, welcome. If you can hear me. Then this is DevChatter, and in here we are writing some C# and .NET Core code. So the place I want to start is, let's take a look at some pull requests that we've got that have come in recently, and let's see which of these we can get merged in. So I'm going to ignore this first one for now. I'm probably going to work on the Discord implementation off stream a little bit to help Arid Tag get this sorted, but then once we have a pretty good handle on it, I'm going to bring this on stream, and we'll be able to continue on the Discord implementation in the stream. Welcome, Sky Hoshi. You are not first. The first person to say something was Arid Tag. Okay, so the first pull request that I'm going to look at here is a top ballers command, which I like. It is funny, and I like it for our channel, but I think probably for the default here, Echo Strike, let's shift off the name Top Ballers and just change it to like Top Chatters or Top Users, something like that. So how about a name change to be a top command. Make sure this works for everyone. We can alias the top ballers to trigger ours. Okay, so I'm going to add that comment on there. Anything else that's interesting about this? So he registered the type, so we're still doing static registration of types in here. Wrote some tests for it. I like that. Let's take a look at the code again. So this is a base command. It doesn't actually need this. Can use repo from base command. Which is actually something I want to change in our existing code. List the biggest ballers in chat. Display top ballers. Okay, so how far is I'd rename to get top 5. What did I say? Get top. Well, we'll just say to get top users. What else is in here? Generate message based on that. What's it do? It just does this and then increments the number, puts them in there. So essentially ranking them. We could technically do that on here. Why, thank you, Keck Maestro. I didn't think our code of conduct was all that bad, but okay, so we mock the client and the repo. That makes sense because we'd pass both of those in. And then okay, so you did a setup test method. We get a test user, set up the test using test users, pluralize that method. We're going to add that comment, and there's tokens. Okay, so basically we just want to make sure that the ones that come back from the database are those. I'm assuming when we set up that's the return that the repository will give us. Yes, and the number of, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 people come back. We want to grab only the top 5. Who gets left out in this test data? It is Rock that should not be included in the list. Okay, so instead of so this test here verifies the exact message, which means it's a pretty brittle test. If anybody changes how the string works, we're going to run into a problem here. So I would recommend that we change out the asserts on here to do contains on the right people. An assert contains for the right people's names rather than an exact string. This will be brittle by only checking a specific string. JJ Dankinson, thank you for following. Hopefully you are enjoying the stream so far. Let's see. Update some names and the asserts, and it'll be ready to go. Date requested name changes and the asserts, and it'll be ready to go. Cool. So I'm going to request that we get a little bit of a code change on that one before we merge it in. The next one on here is the editor the editor config changes that Aridtag brought in. Hey, well, awesome. Glad you're enjoying it. Saturday was actually our 30th Dev Chatter stream, which is really crazy to think that we've done that many already. So that makes this our 31st stream, so welcome. Hopefully everybody's enjoying it. So taking a look at this, it's a little weird to have that comma added there, but it's not a huge deal. Other changes in here that I want to take a look at. So, what do we have? Private fields, applicable kinds, field, private. Constant members, field, private, constant. Okay. .NET naming symbols, parameters, applicable kinds, parameter, camel case, all upper. Where do we go? Okay. Capitalization, camel case, prefix that. Parameters must be camel case. Okay. So .NET naming parameters must be camel case for parameters, camel case suggestion for private constant members. Okay, so private constants, we use all upper, so that's the one, and it's a suggestion, which I'm good with. I actually think it should be suggestions for most of these. Private members with underscores, private members underscore prefix, and a suggestion. And protected members, yeah, so here's the part that gets weird. So I agree, I like private and protected members being treated basically the same way, because it implies both of them, for both of them, that they're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and approve. I think I actually already approved this change. So I'm going to go ahead and merge this one in. And what the editor config does, for anybody that doesn't know what an editor config is, that basically tells Visual Studio what defaults we want for a lot of different programming style things. So points like you added the .cs comma due to it not matching when specified in the group CS according to the editor language ships, but if you do it, oh, that's weird, Aridtag, but hey, if it works, it works. Okay, so, in that case, we're pretty much good with that one. I am in the Heist project right now. But I want to take a look at a bug I just created in here first. And by bug I created, I don't mean I made a bug. I mean like I recorded a bug in GitHub. I didn't like program in something that didn't work. I think you guys know what I meant. So I'm going to go ahead and grab latest version, which will include that editor config. Once we get this building, I want to... Oh, I gotta stop the bot first. So I'm gonna do one quick change based on that bug that I filed. Oh, whoops. No, don't start up the bot. Here's what I want to do. I will show you guys what the bug was that I filed in here. I remember this from last time. New command should work on the first load. So, I recall last time we were doing this that a new command didn't work. So let's go ahead and do, this, make this work command. So we're going to make a make this work command. It is going to inherit from base command, which means that I need to implement our pieces that I need to implement here. I don't need to do that. I don't need the second constructor. It's kind of annoying that it gave me the second constructor. Alright, help text. This should work. And chat client dot send message It's alive. Okay, so there's the message that we're expecting to have get sent when we type in "make this work." Hey! Welcome, Grimson Green. Thank you for the subscription. That is 2 months in a row. I have no idea what that button does, but, you know, hype, 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 hype. So, thank you very much, and enjoy the hype emote, the Dev Chatter hype emote. It's a good one. That T-Rex is super excited about your sub. I need to get a sub emote of some kind if I ever get partners, so that we can do like sub hype, sub hype, sub hype. So we really need to change these at some point so that they aren't in the list like that. Okay, so the reason I think this won't work is that the value needs to get stored in the database. The Rex eating a sandwich. Yes, that would be a good one. We could give him a sub to eat. Now I wonder, is that 2 emotes or 1? Is that like a sub in one side and then, you know, big open mouth eating from the other one? It's a good question. I think that was the undocumented API from Twitch failing again. I really need to wrap that in a try-catch and make it do a retry. Maybe I'll steal the code people were talking about in chat and just toss it in. Hey, welcome, Wheelspin. Hype, 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 hype. Error occurred during... Oh. Wonk. That was my bad. Everyone can call this one. Wheelspin, I am fixing a bug that I think exists within our aliasing system. So I'm fairly certain that this new command that I just created, you'll notice how simple it is. I think it's going to fail. I don't know that for certain, but I'm pretty sure it'll fail. And not for the reason we're seeing on screen. Okay, see the inner exception activator command list. An error occurred during the activation of the particular registration. See the... Alright, we're going to debug this one. We're going to make that work. So there's an undocumented Twitch API that often fails that I need to wrap a try-catch around and just give it a retry. So Twitch actually throws a 500 error, and that's what actually failed. Yeah, oh, see, it was that one. And now I debugged for no reason. But either way, this will let me check a couple of things. So the first thing I want to check is I'm going to open up our database, take a look at the the command words table. Whoops, did not mean to pull up the design for it. I meant to do this, view data. Okay, make this work. So there is a make this work alias that got created. So let's see. I should be able to call it. Okay, hey, it worked. All right, we're gonna call it good then. That bug is not one that actually happened, so cool. I guess we must have fixed that one previously. Fantastic. I just stopped the bot, Wheelspin. Didn't you see me stop debugging? Although no, you didn't because there's a stream delay. Never mind. My bad. Sorry. That was me. I'm sorry, Wheelspin. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause you that trouble. It was all me. Okay, So now the bot should be running again. Now the fun part is that that still worked. Yes, exactly. My sub-orn. No, my sub-orn. Please tell me Lumen's lurking in my chat right now. I really hope he is. If he's not, Crimson, you need to clip that and send it to him. I'll be like, no, the sub-orn, my sub-orn. There you go, now you have the perfect clip to send to Lumen. Okay, so taking a look at this, that should work now. Does make this work still do anything? It's not supposed to. That is hilarious. Did I not fully rebuild or something? Oh, wait, did I not actually delete the command? Yeah, it's not rebuilding because that didn't do that. Why didn't a rebuild do anything? Rebuild. Like, full, absolutely rebuild. Like, one that actually requires rebuilding. Yeah, Wheelspin, it'll be back in a sec. You'll be able to do your bonus command then. Not that it'll do anything for you, but you're welcome to try it. Okay, so that clearly is working. So let's go ahead and take a look at which branches are here. Command usage tracking. I could take a look at that one. But actually, I think I want to do a little bit of cleanup. So we're going to make another code cleanup branch. Here's what we're going to do. We have a couple of things that I know of that we can get rid of, that I want to knock out in here. So first things first, let's get rid of these stupid repositories that exist for some reason. Birvarmus burocamus. I apologize for butchering that name, but welcome. Thank you for following. Hopefully you're enjoying Dev Chatter today. I am going to get rid of all of these extra repositories that we don't actually need, because we have access to a repository on the base class, and for some reason we included it on these ones, and I don't know why we did that. So I am going to jump through here and nuke every one of these things that uses a repository that I see. Thank you, Crimson. Now you can send that to Lumen and he can yell at me, because I did a really bad impression of him. The repository. There's actually a better way to do what I'm doing, I just realized. Yep, just doing some code cleanup here, breakfast? I don't have a breakfast command. Yes, I have a mod command. You just type in mod and then the name of the person that you want to mod. Totally how it works. Because who cares about security? Let's go ahead and rename it to... oh, whoops. Repository. Alright, we're gonna nuke it there then, that's fine. And the uptime command shouldn't be using that. No, Nope, it's not. And for anybody that can't see it, I'm hitting a keyboard shortcut, and by can't see it, I mean none of you can see it because I'm typing on my keyboard. But what I'm doing is I'm hitting Control-RG, which is automatically doing a remove unused usings and sort my usings at the top of the file. And I was doing that just to get things mostly cleaned up there. I happen to know there are two more base commands that I didn't get to, which are the hangman command, which is one of the game commands. I just want to check and make sure it doesn't have a repository. And then there's the rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors command. And I just wanted to make sure that these didn't have their own repositories, which they don't. Not that they couldn't have it, but they have access to another repository anyway, so it seems silly to have duplicates of that. Wheel spin, return, event arguments. Yeah, that's totally gonna work. You keep trying that. Good luck with that. Let me know how it goes. Alright. So, I actually do need to see if this build is really working, so I gotta let the bot leave for a second. So sorry about that. Bot's gonna disappear. Good, okay. So it did build. Let's bring that back on screen. Congrats, you get the bot again. I just wanted to make sure that everything was running. Let's see, the strings aren't parsed into anything that... Yes. Exactly, Skyhoshi. We're not... At some point, we might do something fun with commands that do something, but yeah. I highly doubt that there's an exploit using those right now, so... So I'm going to say remove unnecessary iRepository. Repository instances is what that code cleanup is. We're going to push this up to GitHub, but what if you tried? What are you talking about, Skyhoshi? But what if I tried what? Okay. Oh, yeah. As I said, I really don't think that there's an exploit related to that, but there could be. I don't know that for certain. Okay, so we have our automated message system, and we have our automated action system. I want to get rid of our automated messaging system because I feel like automated messaging is a part of automated action system. Skyhoshi, what are you talking about? What you talking about, man? What changed what? Uh-huh. You guys are smoking something over there. Compare the line it put from the bot to this line. Does this work? Uh-huh. It changed the dollar to message, huh? Thank you, Arid Tag. Alright, so I want to get rid of the automated message system because I don't think we actually need it. because I think we're better off having an automated action system than an automated messaging system. And since this is all in source control, I'm going to nuke all of that, because I'm crazy. Yes, all of you people in chat are crazy. I specifically mean the ones that are talking in chat. If you're just a viewer, you're probably perfectly normal. It's these other ones that are just loopy. Okay. Alright, so simple token, you can remain as is. Now, when I build this, we're going to run into a little bit of a problem. We're going to go ahead and lean on our compiler a little bit here. It's going to tell me about all of the stuff that no longer exists. So we're going to say automated action system. Automated actions, is an automated action system. With a list of actions. So we don't actually want that. We want to initialize, we want to initialize this from the constructor. We're going to rename this. This is not an automated message system. This is an automated action system. devchatterbot.core. Arid tag, putting the table back. Thank you for that, guys. Don't flip my table. So we have our automated action system that we're passing in here. Don't think we need to do the messages anymore. I think what needs to happen is the automated action system needs to have some default messages set up that are the messages. Excuse me. Essentially pulling them out of the database. Instead of publish messages, we're going to say schedule automated messages. Alright. There we go. I'm going to bring back the interval message class. So I deleted that, but we're going to bring it back. I don't actually want to get rid of that one just yet. So we have the interval message back. But interval message, as you'll notice, does not implement that interface. Change type of message to make the interval message implement that interface. There we go. It is time to run and invoke. Okay, so our interval messages, they need to have a couple of things. They will definitely need the values that they've received here, but I think they also need an iChat client. So they're going to get a chat client. What are you talking about, Sky Hoshi? Is it just the chat box that you're talking about over there that's doing whatever you're doing? I'm not actually looking at that chat box that's on screen. Is that what you're doing weird stuff with? Gonna make me actually look, huh? When you say the $ quote, it comes out as message? I have no idea. Type in $ quote, then review chat, you'll see. Oh, that's weird. So the chat box actually does something weird. Huh. That's the, yeah, that's the Streamlabs chat. That's not, yeah, that's weird. Hey, welcome, Lumen. I don't have a subhorn yet. I'm going to get one. And you know what I'm not going to do with it? I'm not going to snap it on stream. That's what I'm not going to do with it, Lumen. Alright, that is weird, guys. That's strange that it does that. I'm not terribly worried about it, because that should just affect that chat over there and not actually do... Lumen, I was teasing. I'm sorry, man. It was a sad day when the subhorn died. It killed us all, man. Killed us all. So, don't ever write production code that looks like that. Oh, yes, thank you, Greendolf. That is a great quote. I am not going to write production code that looks like the code that that's in production. Send message, message text. Okay, is it time to run? Needs to check the previous runtime. Except I don't want to set previous runtime. I want to do next runtime. So we're going to say clock.now add minutes, and we're going to say delay in minutes. So instead of storing previous runtime, we're going to store next runtime. So we're actually just going to say if next, so we're going to return underscore next runtime is less than or equal to underscore clock now. Which actually, why aren't we just using UTC now? Because that would make way more sense. We're going to use clock UTC now, and actually I don't need this one. It's not used anymore. Is it time to run? Get message instance. I don't actually need to get message instance. We're going to send the message right after we set our next runtime equal to clock UTC now add minutes, and then it's going to be delay in minutes. So we're going to reset the time, delay in minutes, message text. And I think that's yeah, Sky Hoshi, that's a Streamlabs chat box that's in there. That's not mine. So That's all that's displayed over there. And it just means that they've got something weird in theirs. I don't know what the deal is with that, but meh. Hopefully it's not, you know, horribly broken, but probably is. Who are we all kidding? I'm going to move the chat client to that side because I want to do a default value of new system. Can I not default that to new system clock? No. Never mind. Never mind. Can't get away with it. Delay, clock. Okay, so what I'm wondering about here is, oh, right, it defaults it right there. Okay. So our interval messages are going to run on that interval, and then they're going to be sent out. So here's the weird part. So we yank them out of the database, and we need to create these objects based on what we pull from the database and associate them with the specific chat clients that they're able to use. I think instead of this, we should... so they have a single chat client that they send out on. I almost wonder if they shouldn't be hitting all the chat clients when they do that. For these ones, this is an interval message, so any chat client that we're currently connected to should be in this one. They don't need to be. Connect channel, follow behind, begin loops, schedule automated messages. I do like that name way better. Okay, so this pulls them out of the database. But I feel like when it does that, it's not going to get them right. I kind of feel like they're going to need to get wired up with something. So I need to be like messages dot, you know, for each, and say something like so here's the problem. Let me explain. When we pull these out of the database, they're going to come in here. So we're going to get essentially the interval messages out of the database. Well, these are complex objects, so I feel like I might need a model object that's not this. Like, this is a value created from those model objects, and I think we need to separate out that idea. So I think what I want to change is I want to make... so let's go to data model. We're going to make interval message be a data model item. So we're going to go ahead and create it here. And for this data model object, we're going to have delay in minutes and message text. And then this is going to be what inherits from data entity. Not the actual object that we're using as our interval message. We're going to create those from these. So I think that'll make this a little simpler. Which means we no longer need this. So now, I'm going to rename this piece to be an automated message. We're going to get rid of the concept of a data entity on it, and this one is going to be an interval action. So yeah, since we're not coming in from the database with it, we're going to initialize on that every time. So here's what we're going to do. we are going to create these interval messages, and then they don't work there. So we're going to make these from those. So we're going to say new automated message from our interval messages. And then chat client and new, and then do we have the clock here? I don't think I have the clock here. I'll hop in the rock, paper, scissors game before time runs out. I don't have a clock here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change it up. We're going to change how the automated action system works. We're going to go a little differently. We're going to let the automated action system understand the concept that there are automated messages. So I'm going to go to the automated action system. Oh, nobody won. That sucks. So add action, remove action. I am going to add automated messages. For now. It's going to take in an I enumerable of type interval message for now. Messages. So now when we run this, it's going to tell us that this doesn't implement it. So we're going to change it so that it does. Now that it actually has these, we can go in here and we could say actions dot add do I not have an add range when I'm using a I guess on the I guess the iList interface doesn't include an add range, which makes some sense. Okay, so now we're gonna say actions add so this takes in this set. I'm gonna have this bring in an iClock. Oh, that's interesting. Note of Time has its own iClock. See, Note of Time's smart. It includes these things. Automated message. The automated message is going to take in a message dot delay in minutes and a message dot message text. It's going to take in chat clients, all chat clients, chat clickets, chat clients, and a clock. So the clock is going to come in from here. This automated action system is going to give it to us. This one is going to need to give us the messages and the chat clients. So this is going to give us an iList of chat clients that we're going to pass in here. We're going to adjust the constructor of this because we know that we need to have more than one chat client to be able to send it out to all of them. Funkmaster F, welcome. Hope you're having a great day too. So we're gonna make an iList of chat client. So Funkmaster F, I don't know if you heard this, but I am going to be doing a live stream tomorrow where we're going to start a new ASP.NET Core project. Whoops, interval message. That's going to be the message. We are going to store that as the internal message. We're going to get rid of these two values because they no longer need to be here. And this is now going to use message, whoops, Okay, message dot delay in minutes, and then message dot delay in minutes, and then we're gonna say message dot message text. Yeah, so Funkmaster F, we are going to do a project it's going to be ASP.NET Core Razor pages, and so I've been looking at Vue.js recently, and it seems fun, so I want to do a project where we can leverage Vue.js. So my plan is to start a new website, and we are going to have that be essentially create a Razor page that is going to be an input form that do you know how to do Hello World? Yes, I know how to do Hello World, and it's actually pretty easy. Do I have a Hello World command? Hang on. Commands add hello world everyone. Whoops. Okay, done. Hello World is created. So yeah, I know how to do Hello World. So the goal of the application, so like what its purpose is it will be a data entry system for data for logging game records. So essentially, the idea being you can add new players, add new games, and record winners, losers, who taught a game, various things like that for game records. So let me rename this. This is chat clients, plural now. We're going to go ahead and fix that. So there we go. Now what we want to do is adjust this. We are going to now have these messages go out on every one of these. Oh, it's not a list. This is going to be a list. Because I know it's going to be a list anyway, so we want it to be a list. Because then I can do cheater stuff like this. I'm a big cheater. Send message, and we are going to send out message text. Let's see, what did we say in chat? Eckstein, yeah, so Eckstein, I also hope that Blazor picks up. I think it'll be a lot of fun. We might end up using a little bit of Blazor when we're doing our on-screen overlay stuff that we're planning on doing. Am I going to use Azure Cosmos DB or some Azure data storage? That's a good question. Might just, I think I was probably just going to do like a SQL database in Azure, but I guess I could store it in some other way if there's a compelling reason. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm probably going to connect it through EF Core, so it can talk to pretty much anything that EF Core could talk to then. But I could take a different route if you've got suggestions. As you know from the way I write code, I tend to keep the underlying data storage mechanism separate anyway, so I can pretty much do what I want with that. So, and it changes pretty easily. So, if people have a strong opinion, let me know. And anyway, so we're going to send out the message on each of those and then keep on running. So that should make those work. Do we build yet? Yeah, I think it'll be a good one, Funkmaster F. Speaking of which, you really need to get a better name than Funkmaster F, because that's hard to say. Just saying, man. That'll be a list, and there we go. You won't disagree with me. Good. I regretted it the moment I set it on. Yes. Oh, Funk Mastiff. Yeah, there you go. He likes Mastiffs, I think. So, That's a good one. I like that one. Let's go ahead and see what other issues we got. So there's one. There is no add action that has that. So this is add automated messages. So messages and chat clients. Why is that an iList? It doesn't need to be an iList. It's going to be a list. Hey, Smart ASCII, welcome. Hopefully you're having a good day. If anybody likes video game streams on Twitch, I'd recommend you check out Smart ASCII's stream. It's usually pretty fun. Plus, you could chat with me during a gaming stream, because I'm often in his. Smart ASCII is also a programmer, if you didn't guess from the fact that he has a gaming stream. Yes, Smart ASCII is a great name. Hilariously, it's a gaming stream and not a programming stream with a name like that. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the bot, everybody. So sorry if you wanted to play a game. We're gonna go ahead and run it again. Okay, good. There was an error. All right. So our interval messages. Don't have a constructor anymore. That makes sense. Create a constructor with a integer, delay in minutes, and a string of message. And it won't need a system clock because we removed that from this. We are going to initialize the auto property from it, and we're going to initialize the other auto property from that one. Talk about needing to just have like a default constructor on those things, huh? Now I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. Did you decide on Cosmos DB? JJ Dankinson, no, I have not made a decision on whether or not we'd be using Cosmos DB. I will probably actually ask Funkmaster F about that one, and what he thinks we should do there. Because he actually does know Azure pretty well, and if no one guessed, he is one of the candidates that I am talking to try and get to be a guest on stream sometime. Smart ASCII, I don't often run into people who know how to pronounce my name, much less understand the joke. Yes. So you show up into a programming stream and like everybody's like, oh yeah, it's ASCII. Yeah. I mean, heck, the people here not only understand the reference, they could probably even tell you what that acronym means. Which, again, even in itself is kind of an impressive part to even know what that is. I mean, Smart ASCLL, ASC2. It'd be really funny if someone guessed you were ASC2. It's like Smart Ascendant the Second. That'd be a great guess on that name. I would be laughing my butt off if someone actually guessed that was your name, Smart Ascendant the Second. Okay, always running message. This is not an automated message. This is an... I think we actually do need to get rid of these automated messages now. But the nice part is I think what they were referencing, so what we were testing with that, is not going to exist anymore. Yeah, smart. Oh, man. Smart. Oh, geez, that is nasty. Generally, they start to say it and then they just get a... Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's much easier for them to just call you smart and then not worry about what it actually meant. Is it time to display should? Okay, so this needs to be a test on the actual message, not on an interval message, but on an automated message. And that has to now be one of these, and this is now going to be a new interval message. I'm not going to call the actual method that requires that, so I'm going to pass in null instead of passing in an actual collection there, because we shouldn't need it. We'll reset the time interval. No, it won't. Never mind, I need an empty collection of chat messages in there for now. So we're going to call invoke, and that will actually reset the time. Is it time to run? Oh, that is hilarious. It is time to run. Run away! It's kind of funny. Alright, so let's rename the method to that. And then let's rename file to match my new type name. And then this is not going to be an interval message test. This is going to be an automated message test. Automated message test. Sir Jonathan, welcome. Thank you for following. So there we go. Now let's see if everything builds, which I sure hope it does. It does not yet. Automated messaging testing. We got rid of our automated messaging system, so I don't need to test that anymore. That whole class got nuked because it was too complicated. The other one should get tested instead. Okay, so let's see. Date time, .now, .add minutes, delay in minutes, assign that to the clock. Let's go ahead and run all the tests. Let's see what it does with them. They blow up. Well, it's not surprising. We changed some things. Okay, so which ones are blowing up? This one, return true given time equal to delay in minutes. Oh, yep. No, I think that's my fault. I think we actually want to... Oh, is it time to run less than or equal to? Oh, that edge case should work. Fake clock, what time did you start with? This should have been clocked out now. There we go. Roadrunner, welcome. Thank you for following. So that I believe failed because I was using the wrong value. So I need to reassign what the current time is on the clock based on the actual clock value. And the problem is adding a minute to datetime.now wasn't getting me the right thing. Still fails, but let's see the reason. So we're saying, is time to run? That one's false. What's the other one that fails? Is it time to run? Wait the minute. Well, let's debug it and take a look. We'll see what's going on with this thing. Actually, since we're not doing this, I could have the bot running while we tested these, so sorry about that, everybody. So, next runtime is set for... Oh, that's why. I forgot. I did things better now, everyone. We need to use UTC, because why wouldn't we use UTC? That just makes sense. Let's run all those again. Now it'll work better, because I forgot I switched everything to using UTC, so my tests are wrong, the code was working perfectly. That's why it refused to work there. And now I need to go to the interval message. Oops, I need to rename that class, I just noticed, that's why I opened the wrong one. Rename the file to match that type. Now I need to open up my interval message. And I need to add an empty constructor so that EF can use this. So EF can now get access to that. That's, whoops, why do we have message on here? Foolish me. What? Whoa. We are not changing it to message text. You freaking... Did you guys see that? It wanted to change it to message text. What in the crap was that? Alright. Let's see if the bot runs. Wonk. Alright, let's take a look. We just changed something underlying in the beginning, so I wouldn't be surprised if it fails. Default constructor finder. Okay, so what was it looking for? Oh, it can't find a collection of chat client objects to pass in. And that is going to be in the setup bot method. This no, hang on. Chat client. What? iBot main. Yeah, so the problem is bot main. It can't find... I think it can't find this. So I'm going to change back to an iList here. Which is really annoying when I have to change back to an iList. But once I do that... now when I go here, I got to change this to be an iList. And yeah, I'm just doing this because it's going to make it a little bit easier to deal with. Now I'll make this an iList. And then inside of this, I make this an iList. So I'll just make all these things take in iLists. And now you see the annoyance of I don't have a for each on that. But that's fine, because I can literally just do an old school for each on chat clients. And then just say chat client dot send message and underscore message dot message text. And that is the exact same code, just written less nice. Alright, so it'll happen. See, as far as Cosmos versus Azure SQL, it'll depend on a few params that I'm just not sure we discuss when you kick the project off tomorrow. Amount of data you expect, need for scale, regions, and of course pricing. Definitely don't want to do table storage, and it depends on a few parameters, and I'm sure we'll cover some. Didn't hit into the first sentence. I would say easiest solution is going to be one of the top ones. Most reusable, longest lived, easy to archive and maintain. Those are going to be a lot of the priority things that we're going to want to have on there. So let's go ahead, let's get rid of that error message. We're going to go ahead and try running this again. So see what it does. Punker76, welcome. Thank you for following. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their Monday. And enjoying as we write a little bit of code here. So the bot has arrived. So now we should be getting a message 15 minutes from now of that one that we're looking for. Let me see if any of these commands are working. Okay, lurk is working. Pet is working. What else should be working? Well, Hangman should work. So I'm going to play a little bit of Hangman in the chat here. Hangman, I don't know what this word is yet. I know the word now. Well done, Async Awake. You got it. No, Helosia, that's not the word. But good try. That was a good one. That was a good one. I like that. Alright, so now we've switched over to this. I'm going to go ahead and get that committed because that now works. That was a way bigger change than I expected it to be. But we got rid of our old automated messaging system. So we'll remove the obsolete messaging system. So the reason we got rid of that is because the old messaging system was not actually dependent on our new automated system. So we have this new system of automation, and it makes more sense to have a single automation system than to have two separate ones where we've got automated messages versus automated, actions. So now automated message is just a type of action. So I like that a lot because that makes it way easier to keep track of. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Let's go ahead and add some tests on this. So the automated message is in the automated action system, which is inside of core automation. So we're going to make a folder for automated action system tests, plural, and do we need much in this actually? We may not need to. Run necessary actions. Yeah, we'll do a quick check on that. So we'll do run necessary actions should. So we're going to go ahead and do public void test1 on this. And yet the reason I use test1 as the name here, just so you guys don't think I'm crazy, is because I don't even know what I'm testing yet. So in my mind, I haven't even thought that through one bit yet. All I do to start off with is I just go, hey, I want to make a test, and so I'm going to go ahead and make myself a test. And I'm kind of just thinking, here are the objects that I want to get. Automated action system. I'm going to fix that name there. And then we're going to fix that there. So importing the missing reference. The reason I do that is because I want to get like the framework of what my test is going to be set up without even any other concern for what else might be going on. And it just makes a lot of that easier to deal with. Because I can kind of think through things as I get there. And I saw there was a message in chat. Just give me a second and I will take a look at those. Okay, so is there any good reason not to have ReSharper as a C# dev nowadays? So, Halosia, I run ReSharper. The only reason that... So, let's put it this way. ReSharper does some nice things for me. I know a number of devs. Actually, I was at a workshop for a client, and when Visual Studio 2017 came out, so like the day it came out, I was there giving a workshop for the client, and I'd actually just been showing them what they can get out of C# 7 and C# 6 and what new features they should be using from those. And we started using VS 2017. So they had all gotten licenses for VS 2017. So there was another developer that was there also giving the same workshop I was. We were both working as a team doing this workshop. And he had actually recommended to them that they not get ReSharper, saying that at this point VS 2017 has most of the features that ReSharper has. And the funny part was, by the end of the workshop, the dev team was then requesting from their company that they buy them copies of ReSharper because they'd seen all the new features that existed in my system and were not in theirs. So some of the features, if I do some type that doesn't, we'll say does not exist, and I'll just say new one of these, right? So I type this. Well, thanks to ReSharper, I have this find this type in NuGet. Now, this isn't actually in NuGet anywhere because I just made that up. But what's neat about it is that it will go and look in NuGet packages and try to find that type for me. And I don't know about you, but I find it really amazing that I can just try to use something and it'll go look for it. And that's not the only piece. There are a lot of others. Now, I have been noticing there are more performance issues with ReSharper now than there were before, which I'm really hoping that JetBrains is working on. And Visual Studio, here's the annoyance, Visual Studio got in kind of this defensive mode where they were tired of customers getting mad at them because Visual Studio would slow down when it was really ReSharper that was causing the slowdown. So now Visual Studio like aggressively tells you all the time that ReSharper is what's slowing you down. And it gets a little weird, to be honest, that they're getting on their case like that. But, what are you going to do? Okay. What I'm going to do here is, I'm going to go ahead and make a method. Yeah, Halosia, that's, setup test action system. So it's kind of annoying that they pop that message up all the time. I would kind of prefer if they just work together to improve the performance, because it's obvious that Microsoft knows that there's issues, and you know, just work with JetBrains. Let's figure out what the performance issue is and get it fixed. I mean, I understand that they're not the only ones. I mean, it's not like, so I've heard that CodeRush is much better performance than ReSharper, but I just don't use it. Mark Miller, if you want to go ahead and hook me up with a free copy of CodeRush, I am willing to try it on stream. So now if someone just clips that and sends that to Mark Miller at DevExpress, then there's a chance he'll just, you know, get me a license of CodeRush to use on stream. And we can see how it does. See? Isn't that a neat trick? Okay, so I want to pass in a mock interval action. Can this take in? It can take in an IEnumerable, of which an array would count. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to make this a parameter. We're going to call this parameter actions. There we go. And I'm actually going to make this a params array of actions, which lets me get away with this. So I'm going to say new mock of type IInterval action. Basically cheating here. Object. So that lets me pass in whatever action I want. So we can say mock.setup, and we're going to say actually we're going to want to verify, not do a setup, verify that invoke times times exactly, oh actually I think I can just say once. There we go. So we're going to say times once. We're going to put this after that one. So we just want to verify that it called our action one time. How do I feel about NUnit and NSubstitute? So I like them, but we aren't using them on this project, and NUnit is really suffering right now because most of the people that are doing .NET Core are running XUnit instead of NUnit. So I used to do almost everything in NUnit, but I haven't used it in a while. I am hoping that that Microsoft brings Microsoft Fakes over to .NET Core. As far as I know, they have not made it work for .NET Core, which really just means making sure that it works on Net Standard. But we'll see what they do with it. Because specifically, I want to get stubs from that. Not stubs, not stubs. Shims. Shims. I want to get shims from that. Run necessary action should invoke action given one ready action. So now as my setup, I want to say mock setup, and I want to say that when is it time to run is called, we return true. So now invoke given invoke actions given ready actions. So I am going to say that we have that same action in there twice. Exactly 2 times. Oh, async awake. Sorry. Thank you, Async Awaken. Sorry about the bot blocking you there. I think I can do this. Will that work? I don't know. Just whisper me the link and I can post it in chat. I think you can whisper to me, Async Awake. Okay, so let's see how these run. I don't actually know what we're gonna get when we do this. We'll see if these tests work or not. Okay, good, they pass. So now, if we do this one, invoke no actions given no actions, for one thing. If we gave it no actions, we expect to not have anything run. Which I'm not even sure what I would verify on that. So we'll give it an empty collection and see what happens. So hopefully that works. Async Awake, you can either use the thing in chat, or I think you can /W and say dev chatter and then pass in your message. I think does a whisper through the chat system, so it would look like this. /w dev chatter. Hi. You cannot whisper to yourself. Thank you. Unrecognized command. Oh, son of a. Alright, so I'm getting all kinds of hilarity trying to type in commands because Twitch is actually responding and yelling at me about them. So, I'm not going to worry about it right now. But yeah, if you got that clipped, I appreciate it. I just need the clip. I don't actually need a link to it right now. Feel free to tweet it at Mark Miller or at CodeRush on Twitter if it's the one I think it is. Invoke, no actions, given no actions. Next thing, so this next test is going to be very different from that one. This one is going to be invoke, no actions given, no ready actions. So in this one, we're just going to go ahead and have him say false and never. So we're going to verify that that is never called, because we said not to. Sounds good, Async Awake. Alright, so all those tests are passing, and that basically just gives us a quick check that the system runs the ones that it's supposed to, and doesn't the ones that it's not. Although I want to say invoke only ready actions given multiple states of actions. Welcome, Helosia. Thank you for the follow. I'm guessing that means you're enjoying the stream, so much appreciated. Okay, so I need to make 2 mocks for this. I need to have mock 1 and mock 2. Mock 1 and mock 2. And now this one needs to get called once. Mock 1 does, because we're going to have this return true. And then we're going to have a false on mock 2. And we are going to say that mock 2 should not be called. Never. Is that a method? It's a method. You're telling me that it accepted that as written without that? Like once could be passed in as a method or property? What kind of type is that? Whoa! That's crazy. I can't believe that works. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I'm not sure what they implemented there inside of MOQ to make that work, but that's nuts. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Sounds good. Okay, so Janisku started up a rock, paper, scissors game, which I will hop in. So if you do want to play rock, paper, scissors, you are welcome to hop in the rock, paper, scissors game and give it a whirl. It's basically just a random chance of winning some coins, and you might lose some, so good luck. Additionally, something I do want to mention, we're not at the end of the stream yet. We're going to keep going, but so don't think that's this. But I do want to mention a couple of things. First off, if you want to see any of the code that we are working on stream, you are welcome to go to our GitHub and check it out. And I also want to mention that we have a Discord server, which actually has like design discussions. So we have people inside of our Discord server, and I linked both of those in chat, so you should see them over there in the message there. So it's github.com/devchatter. Or you can check out our Discord link. Both of those are available below the stream if you're on Twitch right now and watching from there. In the panels down below, you've got links to our GitHub and to our Discord. And there really are design discussions, so we have people talking about code in chat, and the people that send in pull requests usually talk about them in chat, and we discuss how different things will work. So if you're interested in contributing to the projects, those are the best ways to do it. So I figured I'd mention that while I had a moment there. Something else I want to mention, we were talking about it a little bit, but I want to make sure I tell everybody, Tomorrow we're going to start a new project on the stream. It's going to be our third project, and that project is going to be, instead of a bot, which is what we're working on right here, we're going to do an ASP.NET Core application, and we're probably going to use Vue.js as the JavaScript framework for it. And in the project, we are going to be building an application to track board games that you play with your friends. So you can basically add new players, add new games, and log games, edit games, delete games, that sort of thing, and see by day which games you played. So you could go back and be like, hey, last Friday, how many games did I play? What were they? And you could take a look at that. And so that's basically the application we're going to do. It's going to be pretty simple, but we want to have like a nice editing interface with auto-completing and everything like that, and make it fun. That's going to give us our chance to test things out. We want to have it be like, oh yeah, you add in Jimmy and everything updates and whatever, and that's going to be essentially what we want to build. So we think it'll be fun. It's going to be, it's intentionally a small-scale application so that it works well as a sample application, so that people can learn a little bit about the technology that we're using, and it becomes like a little practice app for anyone that wants to look at it and see, how they can build stuff using ASP.NET Core and Vue.js. Okay, adding automated action system tests. Hello, yeah, we're going to use EF Core for it most likely. So that's actually what we're using here also. So we are using EF Core and migrations. And the thing that is always fun is that I keep all of my EF stuff inside of this EF library. So there's no, EF has not bled into the rest of our project. It is exclusive to this project, which means we have our migrations in here and our DB context here. But this is the main running application for the project. Big Drolly, welcome. Thank you for following. Yeah, Janisku, I don't remember which quote is the not rigged one. I swear, there it is. It's quote 3. I swear it's not rigged. There you go. That's the one you wanted. Everybody here thinks my bot's rigged because I tend to win rock, paper, scissors. The code is on GitHub, guys. You could look at the code. It's not rigged. I just win all the time. Hang on one second, everybody. And I'm back. Hopefully you didn't miss me too much there. Okay, so, yeah, and you'll notice all this stuff that we're doing in chat. So when you watch the chat window and you see things like someone calling out for quotes, that's all being run by our bot that we're developing right here. So the only bot, so when you ever see DevChatterbot talking in chat, that's this bot. The one exception is we also have a Nightbot in here that we have do the stream moderation for us, because we didn't want to focus on stream moderation for our bot because that's less fun. We might do that eventually, but I'm more interested in doing other commands and things like that, which if we want to dig into that, we can do it down the road. So we're mostly building games into our bot and other interesting features. And it gives us a chance to just write some code together. So let's go ahead and close these down. I am going to send in a pull request on this, because I think that that's a good set of cleanup things. Well, unless we want to actually take... Are there any other cleanup issues that we want to take a look at? Let's bring up the issue list. Okay, so that one... this one I couldn't actually reproduce, so this was invalid. Invalid. Brendan's an idiot. Don't listen to him. He put in this thing. It completely was not actually an issue. That's fine. Fix the hastily synchronized code. Yeah, we do need to. Clean up dependency injection. Yeah, we need to get that too. Oh, you want, yeah, so, like, you're thinking, so Janiscu just made a suggestion in chat and was saying alias to a specific quote. So I think that means that Janiscu wants to make it so that we can do a rigged command and have that pull up that alias, pull up that command. So essentially, let me see if I can get this right here, Janiscu. I'm going to create an issue for this unless you're already doing it. Alias to command with parameters. Allow an alias to include parameters when calling another command. For example, we're going to say rigged could be an alias for quote 3, which on our stream would return the following text. Oops. There we go. This is an enhancement, and yeah. I should mention on here, suggested by Janiscu. Update the comment. There we go. If it was quote rigged, then you could do something like a search for that word. Oh yeah. So Big Drolly, yeah, we could do that. That'd be a separate one. But I also would like that one, where we could look for a quote based on that. So I think either of those could work. To that I say thank you for the suggestion. And Big Drolly, do you want to add that in as an issue? So that I don't have to do it on stream? I think that would be a great feature suggestion. And if you're looking for the link to that, you can just ask the bot and it will tell you. Awesome, thank you, Big Drolly. Okay, so we need to get this cleaned up at some point, but I don't really want to tackle that one today. No. What else can we get cleaned up today? So I wanted to do a cleanup stream today, and I think everybody should get more practice in refactoring and just fixing up code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up our task list. Okay, so prevent overflow. I'm not going to prevent overflow. Prevent inserting same channel. Okay, we can take care of that. I can append to that issue you just made. Big Drolly, I would make a new issue for that one, because I think they are separate, because one of them is going to be modifying the alias command, and the other one's going to modify the quote command. But I think they're both going to do pretty cool things. So tell me what you were thinking about on the quote thing, but my assumption for what you were saying is we would check the quotes and look for whatever string you passed in, and if we found a quote that contained that word, we would return it. And if we found more than one quote that contained that word, we might randomly choose one and show it. Is that what you were thinking, Big Drolly? And tell me if I'm pronouncing your name correctly there. Because if I'm not, I will adjust how I say that and try to get it right most of the time. Okay, so we're going to do a repository dot single. This is a specification. I specification type T, and I think it's a data entry specification that I want, because we don't have one. Yeah, we're going to do a data item policy because we don't have one specifically for that one. So we're going to say data item policy of type streamer entity. Whoops. Okay. Channel name equals channel name. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to derive from this. We're going to create a derived type. And we are going to have it be a streamer entity. So we're going to say policy, streamer entity policy. And we're going to implement our missing members. And then I'm going to say public static streamer entity policy. So this is going to be a static method that's going to get us an instance of this. So it kind of works like a factory almost. I'm getting interested in dependency injection, but I haven't really found the best place to put my container kernel. Can you? Okay, so Halosia. Generally, you want to have your container inside of a core project, and then what you want to have happen is Drolly for shorthand, but yes, I was thinking more of a command can be assigned keywords context rather than look for words because of multiple things. Javadoc type documentation, this code, is that not a thing? In Developer Desmond, yeah, we could put that in if we wanted to. We could definitely put in some basic Javadoc documentation. We just haven't done it yet. So the idea, so Halosia, keep watching the stream because you probably noticed that one of the issues on here is cleaning up our dependency injection. So one of the things that we're going to do at some point is breaking out separate modules, and I want to have separate modules and registries of our dependency injection, and this will become a good example, and you can watch how we do it. But the main idea is going to be essentially, we are going to make it so that it, how to phrase this, the container gets used when the application runs, and we're going to look around for separate registries that are inside each module, and each module is going, so each one of those registries that's part of a module is going to do the registration of its own pieces, and then that will get back to the main container so that everything else can use it, if that makes sense, Halosia. Okay, so there we go, and then by channel is that one. That gets referenced there. We're going to put this in its own, whoops. Yeah, I will fix up the documentation at some point. We do need to clean it up. You are absolutely correct. So we want to get a single one, and we want to say streamer entity policy dot by channel name done. So that will check to see if we really have one already, and if we do, we're going to go ahead and use it. Developer Desmond, yeah, no problem. Yes, more of this will make sense, especially if you watch it. I am gonna. So we're talking about our inversion of control container. That's what we're talking about there, and essentially the idea is that in programming, there are multiple ways that you can wire things up. There's the direct approach where you have one thing call another thing call another thing, and that's the way that the dependencies go, and they kind of just step forward. But dependency inversion is this concept that sometimes we want to be able to redirect things. So the place where the dependency is needs to change. And so when we do that, we're basically saying something else needs to manage all of my dependencies for me and provide them to me at runtime so that I can depend on this third thing, this abstraction. And so it's a strange concept, but if you don't know what DI is, we can try to help it make sense. Just ask me at some point and I'll explain when stuff's going on what we're saying. But the idea of a registry that I'm talking about is that each module should know how to register itself. So in the concept of what we've got here, I have a couple of games that exist inside of our bot right now. We have a hangman game and we have a rock, paper, scissors game. And we're working on a heist game that isn't complete yet. And so the idea is that I kind of want to make it so that each one of those games might know how to wire itself up, or each, chunk of code wires itself up so that those can, how to explain this? That way, we simplify how we build up our dependency structure. So the idea is if I include the rock, paper, scissors game, then everything that's required to run the rock, paper, scissors game should get added to our registry. Or I should say our registry should get included, and the container will get all the items required in order to run that game. And that's the basic concept. Halosia, but whenever you want to get an instance of a dependency, you need some kind of reference to the container, right? Halosia, if you're taking that approach, yes, but the way that most of it works, and the way it works here, is you'll notice at the beginning of our streams command, we take in a repository. And so the idea is instead of having a reference to our container and saying, get me my repository, we instead receive it upon the creation of this object. So whenever we create the streams command object, it already has the repository because the streams command object itself was created from that container. So that's how that works. So we have everything come out of that container to begin with, so it can come out wired up. That's the concept. So so if this was null, then we're gonna do this. Otherwise, we're gonna respond back with a chat client.send message, and we're gonna say already have channel name in our list of streams. Okay. Does our create method do a save at the end of it? Yes, it does. Okay, cool. Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and stop the bot so it can build. So, yep, bot just left. Sorry about that, guys. I'll bring it back in a second. I just want to bring this one in, the newly running one. Okay, so developers. Oh, okay, that helps. I've studied design patterns, dependency injection, but I haven't heard the words registry with it before. That does make some sense. Yeah. So, yep, that's the idea. Registry is just a name for a class that does registrations, because IOC containers, the method that you call in them is like register. So you register in a concrete class to be used for a type, and so a registry is just something that does that. So, yep. Halosia, it just somehow is bothering me that you have to get everything from a kernel and you can't really do it in a more elegant way. So yeah, Halosia, the idea is elegant way. Yeah. So the simplest way would just be that I create the thing and I just give it the stuff it needs and it just works. And when I need a repository, I just new up a repository and use it. But the problem is that it gets weird with dependencies and it becomes difficult to test things and work with them. Basically, there's an amount of complexity that we want to add to our application in order to make some things simpler. That's the idea. So that's the streams command we were just messing with that I just used in chat over there. So that's why I was using that one. What does the cow think? Moo! Welcome. Rar. And yes, Dev Chatter is, our mascot is a T-Rex with little grabbers. because he's got short arms, so that's how he holds his hype sign above his head, for anybody that didn't notice that. So let's see, streams command. Does it have help text? No, it doesn't. So if I do help and streams, you'll see I get no text because there's no help text for this. So we're going to do help text, and then we're going to say Sudalite, welcome, thank you for following, and I apologize for butchering your name, but I hope you are having fun here at Dev Chatter. We are always glad to have new people following, so welcome. Feel free to contribute, talk in chat, or work on our project, github.com/devchatter if you want to take a look at any of the code we're doing on stream. Use the stream. Actually, we're going to say this. I was about to put that in there, but I want to say use our primary command text. Use that to shout out the streams we like. To add a new one, use AZ Drenemary. I apologize for butchering your name, but welcome. Thank you for following Dev Chatter. Hopefully you are also having a great day. And I am guessing, based on both of your saying stuff, that you are enjoying the stream today. And then channel name. And let's put these in quotes, everybody, because we want to make it obvious that that's the text you want to use. So in this one, we're going to do that. And then, and quote. Where do we check roll again? I do check the roll again, don't I? Argument 1 is add, do that. Do I not check and make sure that you roll, or can anybody add them? Because that'd be funny. Ah, mod. Okay, only mods. Yep. To add a new one, use that. And it only works for mods. Okay, cool. Thank you for checking that. What does the cow think? Yeah. And Wheelspin's still having fun with the dollar signs. Okay, so that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the bot again. And then I'm going to go ahead and start it up again. Yep, I was checking. I was pretty sure I was checking somewhere. But it wouldn't actually be the first time. People caught somewhere else that I was not actually checking for a role that was going to be required for something. And I need to break this out as an operation too. So now, if I say help streams, we can get that streams add channel name. Are there any streams that I want? Oh, thanks. What does the cow think? Thank you for checking that. So the difference between Mono and .NET is really comes down to runtime Sudalite more than anything else. So the idea is that Mono is basically the implementation of .NET that is not on Windows. So Mono is the one that lets you run .NET code, say, on Linux, for example. But if you're just running a Windows system the whole time, you will just be running on .NET, and you don't need to worry about that. So Mono has actually been around for a long time, and that is how you've been able to put C# on Linux machines up to this point. That is becoming much more of it's really a first-class citizen now that .NET Core is around, though. So writing code for non-Windows systems is becoming much better for C# developers. Is .NET Core Mono repackaged? No, what does the cow think? It's really not. So .NET Core is just a from-the-ground-up re-implementation of a simpler set of we'll say .NET. It's a core set of .NET stuff. Is a nice way of putting it. And Big Drolly, the question about NUnit. We're not using NUnit, we're using XUnit. And I prefer NUnit and XUnit both to MS Test, although MS Test really isn't that bad. I just like the syntax better. So MS Test is very, very similar to NUnit. There's not much difference between the two, but most within the .NET Core community, it's much more common to be running XUnit, which changes a couple of things about how your tests work. So in XUnit, instead of calling them a test, it calls them a fact or a theory, and it just changes a couple of things about it, but it runs basically the same way. So, yep, XUnit. The main reason why .NET Core is more XUnit focused is just that the team decided to, and by the team I mean like within Microsoft, they used XUnit a lot, and that's part of why XUnit sort of picked up as the main one here. So let's see. So we added that. I am going to go ahead and commit this change. So we added a new stream entity policy and added in a check to make sure. Oh, you tried to add C# Fritz. But I didn't try to add C# Fritz. Oh, actually, before I do that, I just realized I'm not necessarily doing that right. Well, maybe I am. So right now, we have C# Fritz in there. C# Fritz. We already have C# Fritz. Okay, so streams add C# Fritz. I just want to see if it's... We already have it. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure it was case insensitive. And it looks like that is working. So, how do we not have a delete? I think just because we didn't write it yet. What does the cow think? But we can add one. Let me commit this one first, and then we'll go back and add one. Avoid adding same stream twice. Yeah, so anyone can call the streams command, but not everyone can add to the streams. So here's what we're going to do to make that work. So step one is we're going to change the structure. So you all probably noticed that we're implementing an abstract base class called base command for our streams command. But I then just have this like argument check here that just does this and looks for that, and yeah, whatever. It's alright, but we don't want to do that. We want to instead make this a command operation instead, because that's a little nicer, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. If you are not one of our regulars, you haven't seen this set up yet. So essentially we created a command itself can have essentially sub-operations to that command, and that's basically how we created these. So I'm going to make add stream operation, and the add stream operation is going to, yep, there we go, live in its own file for one thing. Now it should be in its own file, and what we're going to do, we're going to add it over here. So if I take a look at how this is used, I should see a reference to this inside of here. So I made list of operations. Oh, actually, right, it's supposed to be a base command operation. Base command operation. Whoops. Let's nuke everything in here and just recreate this as a base command operation. I forgot I made an abstract base class for this because it just made sense. So our streams command needs to have a list of base command operations, And then inside the constructor, I'm going to just assign this equal to a new list of these and just hard code them in for now. And yes, we're going to change how this structure works so that we're not passing them in like this. But this is just v1, how these add stream operation, how these operations will get configured and set up. We're going to make it nicer eventually, but step one is this. Add alias operation. That is way more complicated than I intended it to be. Operand words. Okay. So we want it to be add. And then our help text, we're going to assign equal to something. Actually, I'm just going to steal this one also. So we're going to say use, and this is going to be gonna leave it empty for now. No, there's no add command wheel spin. Alright. I have a cat trying to climb me, that's why I'm doing all these weird movements, if you guys are noticing that. You're probably noticing that. Hang on a second. Alright. Sorry, cat. You're getting kicked out. Ah, there we go. Cat has been... Yes, cats are cool, but they're less cool when they try to knock your green screen down. So that's when cats become uncool. Okay, so add stream operation. And what we're going to do... so this one's going to need a constructor. It's going to need the repository. 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 And then what we're going to do is we're going to steal the code out of this one. And chat user, bar chat user equals eventargs.chat user. Okay, there's our chat user. Arguments 1 and 2 aren't what you think they are. Let's see, what are they? Argument 2. We don't care about argument 1, but argument 2 was which property? That was channel name. Channel name. Argument 1 was just add, so we don't care about that one. And then chat client? I don't want chat client. I want to return back the message that we're going to send. So here's the way that these work. They don't actually get the chat client, they just return back what message we should send. So return that, and then on this one we're going to do a return also. And you guys said stuff in chat, I will read that in just a second, don't you worry. Don't you worry. I will get to your messages. I will. Let's see. Cat broke green screen. No, he didn't quite. Swifty Spiffy, hey, how's it going? Ahoy. Wait, screen is broken? Oh, you're right. The cat did mess up my screen. Yeah, see, he shifted the screen. I can see it up in the corner, like right up there. That's not green screen right up there. That. screen real fast, huh? There, did we fix the green screen? Yeah, mostly-ish, kinda. Alright, I'm just gonna cheat. There we go. Green screen fixed-ish. Okay, so, there's gonna be a battle to let the cat back in the room. Okay, so now, this should work. So we no longer need this else, actually. Remove the redundant else. We don't need that one because we're returning from these. So we no longer need those braces. So that simplifies that. Now over here, instead of calling this, we want to see if any operations apply. So we want to operations single or default. Actually, I'm going to pull up the alias command because I'm just going to steal that code. So I'm just going to grab that. There we go, operation to use. And then we're going to say if there was an operation to use, then use it, otherwise do the other thing. I'm not going to call that, and then our else was this one. There we go. That ought to fix that. Developer has been trying to say green screen be gone, and magically it was gone. Yes, exactly. No one can see the green screen anymore. It's been hidden away. Is there a point of using String Builder anymore now that we can... yes, Big Drolly. There is a reason to use String Builder. So String Builder was never all that useful for the types of cases where we use string interpolation. String interpolation is mostly going to get rid of string concatenation and string formats. The reason to have a string builder is if you were going to be creating a string from a lot of values. So like if you're just creating 3 and you're not doing it with inside a loop or something like that, there's not really a performance hit from using string concatenation or a string format. The advantage of a string builder is if you were going to make some very long string that was going to be combining in, say, 100 values even, and you're going to do that repeatedly, a string builder lets you do the creation of a string one time instead of creating a few as you go. With string interpolation, string formatting, and string concatenation, it was doing it all at one step anyway. So the short answer is String Builder's not all that useful right now, but it wasn't really, I mean, like, it had a specific use case in the past anyway, so if that makes sense. Okay. That build is probably going to fail because it's not going to be overwrite the files that are running, but that's fine. Shout out clients. I'm okay with stopping the bot. So we're going to stop the bot, and I am going to run this again. Start up a new instance of the bot. Oh, and for anybody that's wondering why we're running the bot as a console application, it's because we can. The idea is so few of our dependencies are actually in there that it does not matter what kicks off the bot. It could be run by this console application. It could be run by a Win format. It could be run by a Windows application. We could run it in a web application. It doesn't matter as long as it's C#. We can pretty much just spin this thing up and it runs just fine. Most of the code is dependent on .NET Standard and does not actually require much else. So, okay. Yes, it does work. The bot runs. Yes, we'll run it from a toaster. Thank you for the suggestion. What does the cow think? So we were just messing with streams commands, so I'm going to go ahead and run that. So we're going to go ahead and test that. Streams, add, and we had Smart ASCII here before, so congratulations, Smart ASCII. We're going to add you to the stream. So now Smart ASCII shows up here. Now here's the problem, Smart ASCII. The new feature that we're going to build now, that we've got that one running, we want to make another class that derives from the same base class, base command operation here, except we want to do the opposite of this. So instead of add streams operation, I'm going to make a delete streams operation. And this one is going to get renamed to delete. And it is going to have delete, remove, delete, remove, remove. So any way I can think of to remove that thing. So whatever if you try typing in any of those, it's gonna work. So those will all count as removals, removal operations. So now we need to go to the same spot where this one was referenced and add in our removal one. So we're going to have our delete one as well. And for anybody that didn't notice, I leave a comma here, and that's a little weird, and I figure I'll mention to you why I do this. And to sort of show you, the reason is that now if I need to add another one, I can duplicate the line and I don't need to mess with commas, which also has the additional added benefit that when I'm using source control and it does a line diff, I didn't modify a line only to add in a comma, which is a nice thing to be able to do there, because I hate it when I modify one line and it's like I add a new line and source control's telling me, oh, you added a line here, but you added a comma to the end of that one. And I'm like, I didn't really change that line. All I did was add a comma. And it tells me that. So I get annoyed by it. So the cool thing about this is I can now add operations to the streams command, and I don't even have to go into the streams command and mess with it. I just add in a new one, and I just add it to the collection of commands for that type. Yes, what does the cow think? So I usually just try to leave the extra comma there, and then I can just put it in, and then when I duplicate the line, I don't forget to add the comma because it's already there. So just little tricks like that I've picked up over, programming for like 20 years. It's makes it easy. Okay, so this one's supposed to do a delete. So I still need to get the same kinds of things. I need to have the name of the channel that we're deleting. But this time, I want to find it, and if I did find it, I want to delete it. So, we don't have in our list of streams. Check the spelling. And this is going to be removed from our list of streams. Remove that from as you aren't allowed to remove streams, person. Actually, that's a good point. In our operation, I should base command operation. Try to execute. This really needs to. I need to change how this works because I need to put on this how to do that. Okay. Anyway, so delete stream operation, so we get it. I don't want to create it, I want to repository remove entity. Did I open the right one? Yeah, I did. Flip that. Okay, so now we're going to say if we got back an item that matched it, we're going to remove it, and then say we removed it, and that should be good. Let's see. Can VS automatically add it for you? I I don't know if you can tell Visual Studio to automatically just add those commas for you. I would love it if it just always put my comma in there, because I always want my comma. I don't know why it ever doesn't give me that comma. Let's go ahead and stop the bot. We're going to go ahead and restart it here. One of these days I need to figure out how to get the bot to automatically recompile all its own dependencies and rerun. I know it can't do that, but that would be freaking sweet if it could. Just have like a live update, like, oh, you changed things, cool. Like, just call the restart, refresh command, and I'll refresh everything in the system. That'd be really awesome. Okay, so hopefully you guys all like how nicely separated out these operations are that we've got, the command operations as well as the commands. I'm a big fan of how nicely structured that is. Makes it nice and easy to use. So if I check my streams command, I should have a couple in there. So we're saying I can call streams remove smart ASCII, we think. So now when I call, and you should be watching on the left in that chat window over there, just in case you're not in there, and now he's gone. So now I can say streams add smart ASCII back in, and if I attempt to add him, and so now I can say streams, he's in there, streams add smart ASCII. Congratulations on all the, it says we already have him. Streams remove smart, let's check for dumb ASCII. Nope, we don't have that one in our list. Streams remove smart ASCII. Whoops. Streams. There we go. If you create the bot core as a separate process, you could yes, exactly. What does the cow think? That's the idea, is doing yes, you hit on the exact point. There's some weirdness with it. I know you can load new, but I'm not sure if you can get rid of so if you've already loaded a DLL at runtime, I'm not sure if you can get rid of one. And that's my one concern with that, is I don't know for certain that you can do that. So if you could, that'd be awesome. All right, so extract, add and delete operations for streams command. Okay, let's go ahead and push that up. I am going to merge that in. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves a pull request here. We don't have any new pull requests since earlier. Code cleanup. So we did a few things. Move obsolete messaging system and fix up streams command. And if someone wants to help with this one, that would be appreciated. If we can get someone to take a look at that isn't me, that would be very nice. And what does the cow think? Instead, you could run the core and do something like an XML to continue with the bot core commands press. Yeah, what does the cow? There are a lot of ways that we could do it. They're like, I mean, keep in mind that's part of the reason why a lot of our commands, like, so example. GitHub is just in the database because, why would we want to reload if, I need to update that GitHub link, which, by the way, is github.com/devchatter, as you can see up there in that browser window. All of the code we work on here is out there, so you can take a look at it there. And, oh, cool, looks like you got us our quote and parameter to search for a specific word, so that would be like if we didn't have a number. Keep in mind that if we go this route, we might want to do this as an operation. Might want to do this as an operation. Do this with an operator, like quote s rigged, so that we could search for a number like quote S 1337. Otherwise, numbers it will collide with requesting a specific ID. Okay. I'm not going to merge that pull request in just yet because I do want someone else to review it because it was a pretty significant change. One other thing I do want to mention, because we have had some people on stream today who I don't think have been in our GitHub yet that are interested in contributing, and I know this because we just had an issue added from one, and we were just looking at that in the list. So I mentioned that our GitHub is open and you can take a look at all the stuff we work on stream, but I will also mention that we have a Discord chat which I just linked to. You can see it over there, and there are links to it all over our Twitch. So if you are here on Twitch, you can find links to our Discord, or you can use that one that I just posted in chat. We actually do discuss things in our Discord related to this project. So there were discussions of dealing with try catches and things like that. We were talking about exception filters yesterday. And people were putting in all the different code they were using for different things. So there are a lot of design and programming discussions going on in there. So if you do want to be a part of that, you are welcome to join our Discord and chat with people. Just figured I'd mention that. So hopefully someone is interested. We've actually had people joining even during this stream, as we usually do. Most streams we get a person or two that joins our Discord and starts contributing. So you are all welcome to, even if it's your first time ever contributing to an open source project. We will help you out, and don't be offended if there are requests made, to adjust your pull request in some way. We'll make the process easy and work with you on it. So we're not jerks. We tend to think we're pretty nice people. And if you want to check us out on Twitter, we are there, so you can get announcements when we go live. Okay, so couple of other things that I do want to talk about. I mentioned to you all that we are starting a new project tomorrow. So tomorrow, this empty repository that I've got here is going to stop being an empty repository. So we are going to be doing an ASP.NET Core project using Vue.js, and I am not an expert in Vue.js, so we are going to learn that one together. We think it's going to be fun, and the project is going to be a game tracker, as you can tell from the name. Essentially, we're going to let you keep track of game records. So you play a board game with someone, you want to record what game it is. Maybe you played a game of Die Macher, which is an old game. It's about German politics. It's actually my favorite board game. And you're going to record both who played it, who taught it, who won it, all those sorts of things, and be able to keep records of that and run stats and things like that. So you can say, like, oh, among our group of gamers, this is the person that wins the most, this is the one that loses the most, etc., etc. So we're going to be working on that. And that is our plan for tomorrow. We're probably going to do a long stream, so even though my schedule, which if you look down below, you'll see a schedule, it normally says that we start at 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, but we are actually going to start probably a couple of hours early. We're going to start at like noon tomorrow. So we're going to start a little early. That's noon my time. I'm in Eastern time in the United States, which means noon is about 4 p.m. UTC. So you can translate into your time zone, which actually, if you take a look down below in the panels, you will see that our schedule is listed in your time zone. It should be. Nightbeat. If you're interested, hit the follow button and you will be notified when we go live tomorrow. The cool thing is there a schedule command in here? Okay, so it is. So if you take a look at that command I just typed into chat, you'll see that we have a schedule command. And I am at UTC -4, so I typed in schedule -4, and that told me what the usual schedule is for DevChatter, which is Mondays at 2 p.m., Tuesdays at 2 p.m., Thursdays at 12 p.m., and Saturdays at 1 p.m. Now, I should simplify the text output of that to make it a little clearer, but it does get the point across. For example, there we go. Thank you, Aurora Boris. So if you are in Europe and you're at, say, UTC +2, the times that you see in chat right there, that is the time that the stream usually starts. So our schedule command will adjust to whatever time zone you ask it for. We're going to change that so you can hopefully say a place or or the name of a time zone, and it'll get that as well. But for now, you have to put in the offset, which isn't the worst thing. If you know what UTC offset you're in, it'll get you the right one. And thank you for following Nightbeat. Hopefully you enjoy that. So there you go. And yeah, you can do +3 if you want. You can do plus, you can do minus. And it should be capped at about 18, I think. Like UTC +8, plus or minus 18 or something like that is where we cap it. So in case you didn't guess, I am going to wrap up about now. But I do want to make sure that if you haven't clicked the follow button, seriously, I do recommend it. You'll get alerted when we go live, and you'll be able to catch the next stream and see awesome things like our schedule command, which, yes, we did that schedule command on stream. So if you want to see how that schedule command works, that code is right here for now. And yes, it is hard-coded, but we're going to shift all this into the database so that it's not hard-coded specifically to my time, because that's what we did for now, was we were like, oh, we need Brendan's time at so it's this day at that hour, and that's what we hard-coded in. But we don't want it to be that way. We want it to be coming out of a database, so that's going to be one of our cleanup streams in the future, is we're going to fix that up. Or if you're in chat and you are interested in being the one that switches this over so that the schedule command is in the database, that would be totally fine if you want to be the one that does that. And you could go to our GitHub to actually send in a pull request for that. What does the cow think? Can we set our time zone with the bot? Oh, that'd be an interesting one. By users set the time zone, and so then when you requested it, it would get the right time. So you'd never have to tell it anymore. That would be a very cool one. What does the cow think? Why don't you add that as a feature suggestion to our issues list? And I would also recommend that anybody's in here who hasn't clicked the follow button, hit join our Discord as well. Yeah, so as I said, I'm going to wrap up here. But I do want to thank everyone who showed up today and chatted and hung out. I think this was a very fun stream, and I hope all you did as well. We will be here tomorrow at noon my time, which is 4.5 hours, so 19.5 hours from now. So you can either do the math or just figure out what noon is tomorrow. So if you checked the schedule, we're basically starting 2 hours early. I also wanted to thank C# Fritz, who gave us an auto follow today. We are a big fan of that stream here today. Well, every day, really. So if anybody doesn't watch it, C# Fritz is another C# stream that you can check out. Interestingly, Jeff and I actually worked together for some years at another company. He is currently a Microsoft employee, and so he works for Microsoft, does some morning streams our time. So if you're in Europe, his streams are probably in the middle of they're in the afternoon for you guys. Mine are probably in the evening for Europe. And Dylan, welcome. We're actually just wrapping up here, so I apologize for you showing up a little bit late there, but glad you came back. Not going to run a super late stream today. I figure 2.5 hour stream's a pretty good length. Uptime should tell you how long the stream's been up, which is 2.5 hours. I usually go for about a 2 hour stream, but sometimes they're long. Tomorrow so I mentioned that we're starting 2 hours early tomorrow. We're going to do a 5 hour stream tomorrow. So, oh, it is not that late in the UK. It's like, what? You're what, 4 hours ahead of me? It's like, what, 8:30? It is not that late. It's just an evening stream for you guys. Complaining. Believe this guy whining about the time. Anyway, I was teasing, by the way. Yeah, 10 p.m. almost. Why is stuff doing this thing? Someone's doing a thing on my stuff. Hang on. Someone's messaging me, and I said, I think I'm live streaming. Why don't you ask me there? Way past your bedtime, 9:30. Yeah, exactly. It's super late, guys. I know. That's just crazy. 9:30. Oh, man. I feel so bad. I don't feel bad. Oh, right. You guys are always 5 hours ahead of me. That's not the worst. Anyway, and actually, that means you should have shown up earlier, Dylan. The fact that you showed up late, and it's late. Okay, so I will catch you all tomorrow. There's a one other warning that I want to give you guys. Our stream on Thursday is not going to happen. I will be speaking at Momentum Dev Conference in Cincinnati, which is actually nowhere near me, despite the fact that I am in Ohio, and it is also in Ohio. I'm on the opposite side of the state. I am up near Cleveland, and that is in the opposite part. The conference is on Thursday, so I will be there speaking instead of, that is hilarious, Dylan. I love how the auto mod won't let your stuff through. There you go. That's funny. Dylan just tried like 3 times to get stuff past the auto mod. Wheel spin. Yeah, so this is actually, AutoMod is evil and it wants to stop you from putting stuff in chat. As I mentioned, I will be at that conference speaking, and then that's actually what made me miss a conference last month in miss a stream in March. I missed one because I was at Codapalooza in Louisville, Kentucky, and luckily, as far as I know, I don't have any other conferences that are going to make me miss a stream anytime soon. But if it does come up, I will let you guys know. So the Thursday stream is canceled, but I rescheduled it to Friday. So this week we're going to have Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday instead of Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And if you do want to check out our you can go to devchatter/streaminfo in GitHub, and you can see what our streaming stuff is. When I do have a planned project, when I have like a planned stream, there'll be information about the upcoming stream. These ones are not planned, so like they're just the regular scheduled ones, and I'm gonna be working on some code. We'll pick something and work on it together. But if I do have a planned one, we'll do that. And as I've mentioned, I've got guests that we're lining up to have on stream, but I need to sort them into specific time slots. And when I do that, you'll know when they're going to be on stream because it'll be in here. So you can check out our stream info. And also, if you have suggestions for the stream, this is the place where you can put them in the issues and let us know about that. So anyway, I wanted to thank everybody for showing up today. And I should also mention, if you want to catch any of our old archives, they are both in the videos section here on Twitch, or if you want any of the ones that are so old that Twitch is not maintaining the archive of them, you can take a look at our YouTube channel. And I just linked to our YouTube channel in chat, and there's probably a link down below, I think, somewhere. And you can go to that YouTube channel and check out the old archives. I've been scheduling them to mostly show up one a day on weekdays, and so but it's so delayed that it's going to be a while before it catches up. But the idea is that I want that YouTube channel to be an old archive, so most people are showing up to our live stream, but if you do miss something, you can check it out there. And other than that, I think that was a good stream today. The music we're listening to, by the way, is Relax Daily, and you can find links to information about that down below as well. And yeah, so hopefully everybody has a great rest of your Monday. I know Mondays are not popular among most people, so enjoy it. So everyone in chat, you're all awesome, and have a great day.